Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for being here and spending time with me. Online learning is quickly becoming the new normal. But what about online yoga teacher training? I see more and more online YTTs being offered every single year, which means you doing your due diligence about these trainings becomes increasingly important if this is something you're excited to pursue. In this video, I'm going to cover the 8 things I think you should consider when selecting an online YTT and how to assess a program's depth and credibility. So number 1 is, who is the teacher? Who is offering the program and what's their point of view? Do they see yoga as just a physical practice, or do they see something more? Are they incorporating work about the Yoga Sutras and yogic philosophy, or for them is it way more about just anatomy? If there's not one person, kind of one face behind the training, that to me is a little bit of a red flag, because it means the training might not have a strong lead teacher or a specific point of view. So when you're researching these online trainings, find out who is the lead teacher behind the training, who put together the program and the syllabus. It's so important to really like who you study with in yoga teacher training, because you're gonna sound like them and teach like them and most likely talk like them, because at the beginning, we all start off mimicking our teachers as we slowly develop up our own voice. So make sure to take class with them, preferably many times, lots of classes. You want to be really familiar with their style of yoga. So if the teacher or company behind the training doesn't have any public yoga classes available for you to test out and try so you can sort of see their philosophy and how they teach, I'd ask them for that. I'd ask them to provide you with that, and if they won't, again, that to me would be a red flag. Number 2 is that I want you to make sure it's a full 200-hour training if you're serious about teaching yoga. If you're just dabbling or not really sure this is something you want to pursue, maybe a cheap training that's only a dozen or 2 dozen hours is fine. But if you want a studio experience online and an in-depth, high-quality program, you want to make sure that it's really 200 hours of content that's being offered, that's video content and interaction. I can't tell you how many students come to my program because they were disappointed in the breadth, the scope, or the curriculum of their first 200-hour training. And that 200 hours has just become a word that gets tossed around. Oh, it's a 200-hour training. But I want you to do your research and ask, well, are you really giving me 200 hours of content and interaction? If I added up all the lengths of the videos and how much time you're spending with me, is it a true 200 hours? Third thing that I would look for is the level of interaction. Is there any? Yoga is complex, right? You're probably going to have questions. So being shipped DVDs or just passively watching videos probably isn't enough. In our trainings, what we do is we actually force you to practice teach one another on our interactive live video calls. I see a lot of online YTTs these days offering a Facebook group or a forum, or even live streaming into a Facebook group, but in my experience, that isn't enough. Usually what I see is my students, whether online in person, when they have a question, we dialogue, and then they have a lot of follow-up questions. I wanna make sure someone really understands my response and that they can ask questions back. And that can't happen if it's just a forum really or over text. So this is why in my trainings I prioritize, when they're online, we have interactive live calls 3 times a week with students, and we dialogue around all their points of confusion, and we talk to them specifically to make sure those questions get answered. The 4th component I'd make sure to understand, whether for an online or in-person training, both, is the manual. Is there a manual? Not just assigned reading books that they're telling you need to read that you can buy off Amazon, but an actual proprietary yoga manual with all the yoga poses, as well as worksheets that are kind of going to guide you through the material. How to teach the poses, what the common misalignments are, what the contraindications are. Once training ends, that paper manual becomes your most valuable resource. A yoga teacher training without a proprietary manual, to me, is a big red flag. The manual is something you're going to want to reference as you start teaching and going out and doing your own workshops and looking at your own postures. You're going to be looking things up in the manual for years to come. So make sure wherever you're choosing to train provides you with some sort of manual that's proprietary to them and their method. Number 5 is Yoga Alliance. Yoga Alliance is a private, non-profit entity that is optional for teachers to pay to join. If you choose to sign up, you have to pay membership fees every single year in exchange for using that acronym RYT after your name. Many successful yoga teachers choose not to do this, and others do. Yoga Alliance isn't sanctioned by any local, state, or federal government, but many people still look to it as a sign of legitimacy. Right now, Yoga Alliance is reviewing how many hours of a yoga teacher training can be online and states for now that contact hours must be in person, not over web or distance learning, even if we're together on live video. However, I'd still make sure the online YTT you choose has a curriculum that's Yoga Alliance approved, like mine, so you can at least have the peace of mind that you're learning all the same things that are required for an in-person training. And if you see an online training saying that you can do Yoga Alliance full approval with just studying through the web or distance learning, that is a major red flag, because if you read Yoga Alliance's policies, that's actually incorrect. Number 6 is an exam. Yes, none of us like taking tests, myself included, but to me, the requirement to pass an exam means that the training wants to ensure its graduates are high quality teachers, right? Think of it this way. Would you want to be taught by someone who never had their level of knowledge or their qualifications tested? If the online YTT you're considering doesn't have an exam or states on the website that passing the exam is guaranteed, to me, that's also concerning. That's a red flag, because it means the training doesn't have any integrity. They don't want to ensure a high quality of their graduates, of their teachers. They just kind of want your money. Number 7, in conjunction with the exam, is the teaching practicum. Is anyone actually going to see you teach and give you personalized feedback on your teaching? Getting compassionate, constructive feedback is so important for new teachers. If the online YTT you're doing or considering doesn't require you to send in a video of you teaching that they're going to then comment on, that would concern me, because it's a huge missed opportunity for you to get personalized feedback on your teaching. 8. All right, 8. My last tip for you when sussing out online trainings is to dig into the alumni network. How many people have taken this online training? What are they doing now? And do they vouch for it? Are these real people with real photos or video testimonials you can watch? Or is it sort of like anonymous quotes? You want to know, is there a strong alumni network? Are there alums who are helping one another out, getting jobs or advising each other by driving a strong sense of community? Or does the online training not really have a strong sense of community or alumni network as like part of what they offer? As crazy as it sounds, so many opportunities that come your way are going to be through people you know and through people you connected with in training. Even if the training is online, if it's a well-known or big online training, there will be people, probably if you live in a major city, who've done that training before, who can kind of give you a leg up or give you advice. These are my tips for when you're checking out an online training, and I think that training online is a great option. So I really think you should pursue it. Look at a bunch of different trainings. And now I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments of this video if you're considering YTT online as opposed to in person, and why, and what you're most excited or nervous about in that journey. YTT online will be 100% normal, the way everyone does it over the next 10 years. So it's a great idea to be an early adopter and do it now, as long as you've done your research, because I think if you find a good program, the quality and the fact that you get access to the material and the videos and the training forever makes it so much more valuable than an in-person training alternative. So make sure you're getting a high-touch, high-quality training with a teacher, a lead trainer who you really like and trust. And I'm linking up a video for you now to listen to next, all about how to overcome your fear of teaching or taking a teacher training, if that's helpful as a next step. So much love from my heart to yours. Namaste.